In this video, we are going to see how to install Qt and Qt Creator on a Linux machine. I will be using Ubuntu 22.04 as my box here. You see, it is Ubuntu 22.04, but if you do uname, you will see all the information about my box here. This is what we will be using. The first thing we want to do is to go to the Qt site. So let's create a new tab here and say Qt.io. This is where we go to download our Qt online installer. That's what we go through to download Qt. And the first thing I want to say is that the Qt online installer may not work by default because of mirror settings. And you may need to use a mirror. Here is what I tried to show in the slides. This is a link that I am going to share, and you can copy these mirrors and use them to make your download experience better. You will obviously choose a location that is closer to you. I am going to choose Kenya because this is close to me, and it is going to probably improve my download experience here. So let's do download and try here. And once we do that, we will have the option to download for open source, as you see here. This is a bit hidden, and it may even change if they decide to update this site. Find this out and click on download open source. We will go to a new page where we can scroll down and find the download the Qt online installer button, as you see down here. Let's make sure everybody can see it. Click on this thing and you will start downloading your installer. They will give us a few options. We can download either for Mac, for Windows, or Linux. We want Linux because that's what we are at right now. And our download is going to start. Okay, the download is done. If I go on my local machine, let's go in my downloads folder. So cd downloads. I will find that I have Qt Unified Linux. This is the online installer. But to be able to run it on Linux, I have to give it executable permissions. So let's say chmod +x and say the name of the file. This is going to make it executable. But before you even run it, I want you to do something like this. Say the name of the file and say --help, something like this. You will see that we have a bunch of options. I think my font here is working against me. So let's go to preferences and go to profiles, unnamed, and change the font here to be a bit smaller. So I can bring this down to 15 maybe and see how this looks. This looks much better. What I want you to see is that you can specify a mirror to use to do your download in Qt. I think we have an option --mirror. Let's keep going down and see that we have this option here. Option mirror, and uses the given mirror URL for open source downloads. This is going to improve your download. Now, how do you know which mirror to use? You can go to your browser and say Qt open source mirrors. You see, I have used this earlier. And if you go to this site, it is going to give you a bunch of mirrors that you can use to do your download. And all you have to do is to right click on HTTP here and copy the link to the mirror that you are interested in. In my case, again, I am closer to Kenya, so I am going to use the Liquid Telecom one here. And the way I do that, I go to my terminal and say Qt online installer and then say --mirror and specify my mirror that I want to use here. I am going to paste that in and then I am going to do enter. Please know that you don't have to use this mirror, and in that case, Qt is going to be using the default mirror, and it may be slow. It may even give you errors. This is the experience right now. Now I am going to be using this mirror. You should choose whatever is closer to you. If you are in the US, for example, you can use these two that we have in North America. If you are in Europe, maybe you can use this from Germany or Finland. You will choose whatever is closer to you. I am going to hit enter. This is going to kick off my online installer. You will need to put in your Qt account information. Mine is already auto-filled in. If you don't have a Qt account, click on the sign up link here and sign up. Come back here and put in your login information. After that, you will click on next. We will wait for this to log in and fetch the information that we need. Okay, now we have this page here. All you need to do is to check these two checkboxes and click next. Click next again. And I don't want to send information to the Qt company, so hit next. And here you will choose the location where you want your Qt files installed. In this case, they will go in my home directory. So home, username, Qt, that's where they will go. And we want to do a custom installation. Don't choose either of these because they won't give you enough flexibility. Choose custom installation here and hit next. And here I want you to uncheck all the other boxes and only leave the one saying latest supported releases on. So I am going to make sure this is on and click on filter. This is going to filter out the things I am interested in. And this is going to report the latest Qt version at the time where you are watching this video. Please make sure you install the latest version of Qt and use that with the course here. But I recorded this course on 6.6.1, but it is also going to work on other Qt versions. If you face a problem, let me know and we will talk about it. In this case, I am going to install Qt6 6.2. This is what I am going to check here and click next. And I am going to agree to whatever they say here and install. And if you didn't use the correct mirror, you may face errors or your download may go slower. So I am going to wait for this to install and I will come back when it is done so that we can try our installation. But while we are downloading, we can check and see if our environment actually has the things that we need. So let's close out of this and we can bring up a new window here and check to see if we have the needed compiler. To run Qt on Linux, you need a supported compiler, and one of the popular choices is to use GCC. So I am going to be using GCC on my Linux box here, and to check if you have GCC installed, all you have to do is gcc version. This is going to report that this is installed. If you don't have it installed, you can run this command sudo apt install build essential. And this is going to give you all the tools you need to build and run C++ applications on this Linux box here. If I hit enter, I am going to put in my password. And it is going to say that I have all these things installed. Because I have this installed, I will have access to GCC. Again, gcc version is going to do what we want. I also have a C++ compiler. GCC is a C compiler. But if we need to compile C++, as we will do for Qt, we need G++, and let's check the version that I have. Again, it is 11.40. We should also have a debugger, which is GDB. So let's say GDB version, and it is going to report that we have GDB installed here. So we have all of the required things to run Qt applications. Let's go back and see how we are doing on our installation here. It is going pretty slow, so we will wait for it. But while we wait, I want you to be aware of the fact that we will need to install a few other things after we have Qt and Qt Creator installed on this box here. The first thing is to make sure we have this libxcb cursor thing installed. If you don't have it installed, you will face this error. If you try to run Qt Creator, you will see a window like this saying that your system is missing a few things. And to fix the problem, you need to install libxcb-cursor 0 like this. You also need to install OpenGL, and you will be using these commands here. So while we are installing Qt, we may even be installing these requirements here. So I am going to go down and say sudo apt install libxcb cursor 0. That's the library. And you see that I already have it installed. Let's also install OpenGL. So sudo apt install. And we need libgl1 meza dev. So let's say libgl1 meza dev. I think the spelling is correct. And you see that I already have all these things installed here. Make sure you install them. If you don't, you will face problems. Now I think we can wait for our installation. It is still taking some time, but we can wait. And once it is done, we will start Qt Creator and create a starting QML application to make sure that our environment is set up right. Okay, now the installation is done, and you see that they give us the option to launch Qt Creator or open Qt Design Studio. We don't want to do any of that. We are going to finish. But what I want you to make sure you did is that you ran these commands to install OpenGL. So this is the command for OpenGL. This is the command for libxcb cursor. If you don't have these two, you will have problems, and please make sure you run these commands. Now that you have these commands, let's try to find Qt Creator on our system, and you see that we have it here. So if I click attempting to start Qt Creator, you see that it is going to start here. And this means that we have Qt Creator installed successfully on this computer here. Now that we have it installed, we can create a starter QML project. So go to File and choose New Project. We will choose a Qt application, and we will make sure it is a Qt quick application here. Choose and name your project. Mine is going to be Qt install test, and I will put this in my home folder. If you want, you can use this as the default project location. I am going to hit next here, and I don't want to change anything on this screen. Let's hit next again. We choose the Qt desktop kit that we installed, and then we hit next again. And at this point, I want you to notice the files that will make up your project. We have 3 files: cmakelist.txt, main.qml, and main.cpp. cmakelist.txt is going to be a build system file. It is a CMake file, and it is what is going to be putting together many of the other files that you have in your project. So this cmakelist.txt file is going to bundle them together and have the rules to build those files into the final executable. You can think of it as that. Main CPP is the C++ file, which is going to be the entry point of your application. And again, this is an indication that QML can't really survive on its own without C++. So QML is built in C++, and it is just going to give you a layer on top of C++ to do things easily. But down under the hood, it is still C++. We have a main QML file, which is going to be containing our QML code. Let's hit finish here, and our project is going to be created. Again, if you didn't install these things that I have been talking about a lot, you will have problems. Make sure you have these installed, and you may need to adapt these commands or these libraries names to whatever distribution you are using. I am using Ubuntu here, so that's what I am going to show you. Now we have a QML application created. Again, notice that we have a main QML file, which is opened by default. We have a C++ file, or we have a cmakelist.txt file, and we have a C++ file down here. You can see it, and this is what is going to be making up our project. I don't want you to worry about the content of these files just yet. We will have a moment to go through them and see what each file does. Right now, I just want you to make sure you can compile your application. Just hit the hammer button here and look at compiler output and see that everything is okay. You see that compilation is good. Now you can hit the green triangle and run your application, and you see that it is showing up here. It's not visible because Qt Creator is also using a white background, but you see that this is a QML application running. To make it visible, we can change the color of the background, and to do that, let's make sure, let's go to Tools. We can go to Edit and Preferences and increase the font of my text editor here. I think it is small right now, so everybody is not going to see what we do. Where do we change the font? Where do we change the font? Family, font family is what we have here, and I am going to try and increase the size to something like 12 or 14 maybe. Apply and hit OK. And now it is much better. You can see the source code here. What I am going to do, I am just going to put in a rectangle below here. So let's say rectangle. Type what I type, verbatim, don't change anything, and you will have a moment to understand everything we are doing here. I want this rectangle to fill the parent, so enclose fill parent, and I will give it a color and make it, for example, green. This is going to put a rectangle inside this window, and this rectangle is going to fill the parent, so it is going to be filling this window. And by the way, this window is going to have a width of 640 and a height of 480. And this rectangle is going to be filling it with a green color. We want to green, not to green. So let's say green. And if we run the application now, we should have a green rectangle filling our window, and you see it right here. This confirms that you have a working installation of Qt and a Qt Creator. We can create a starter QML application, and this is really cool. Now that we have this in place, we are going to move on and learn about all these files that make up our QML project. I am going to stop here, and I will see you in the next one.